here and getting into our topic of discussion. And our topic of discussion today is going to be looking at events planning in Uganda. These events have actually transitioned steadily. We've got to see some huge transformation from that sector of events planning in the country, and now people are actually venturing into more. Now, the guest I have in studio is coming in from Uvra Events, and is none other than Revival Kemjisha, who's joining us this morning to discuss more about it and something about an upcoming wedding expo. How about that one? Quite interesting for anyone who is planning to have weddings. It's actually coming into September, October, November, December. Those months is when people definitely get into weddings. How about if you get into the expo and see how things are, and then you get someone who can definitely plan for your wedding. All right, many thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Say hello to my viewers today.
Hello, good morning. I'm Revival Kemjisha, and I'm the Executive Director of Uvra Events Limited, Cosmopolitan Weddings, and the brain behind the Bridal Expo UG.
Okay, the brains behind the Bridal Expo UG. Tell us more about the Bridal Expo.
Well, the Bridal Expo is a place that puts together vendors and clients.
Okay.
And what we have in mind is to bring together a platform that a person getting married can easily, find whatever they need. If it's a gown, if it's a suit, if you need a caterer, you actually can find them at just, in one place. So this is our second season. We had the first season earlier this year in April. And looking at the time of the year, it's coming to season, the wedding season. So that's why we put it up so that people can come and get their service providers.
Okay, all right. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the preamble, saying that as we are heading in the month of weddings, over last weekend, I saw a tweet somewhere on the timeline where someone was saying Masaka Road was filled up with a lot of events during that time, and you can easily see that Ugandans are still organizing these events, whether it's weddings or whether it is customary marriages, for example, the introduction ceremonies. Now, Revival, I would still want to understand now. What does it take for someone to organize an event, for instance, in our market here in Uganda?
I believe I've been in this business for 6 years now.
Okay.
And out of experience, I've realized that one, first of all, has to know exactly what they're organizing for.
Okay.
So they should know that maybe this is my client, let's say it's a corporate company. Okay. What do we need? Then we need venue. We'll need goose mics, we'll need some comfortable seats, we'll need all these things to make sure that event is a success and it looks beautiful. So I believe that one has to do background research about the company, because when you just fall in, then you're going to get everything wrong. You don't know what the company represents, you don't know their values, you don't know their colors, so you're just falling in the thing. So I believe one has to do background research, then one has to put in the effort and acquire a team of people who actually know what they're doing. The challenge I've seen a lot of times is people just get anyone willing to work or anyone wanting a gig, and they come and they disorganize you. They don't know, what you need. They can't deliver. Okay. Yes.
I've been wanting to ask this question to event planners. Lately, I've got to realize there's a trend of influencers tagging onto events. Of what impact do they lay on, or is it something that is just a bandwagon and we need an influencer on an event whatsoever?
Influencer marketing is very key.
Okay.
And I attended a certain conference recently, and they were talking about the gig economy. Okay. It's like Uganda, we are turning into a gig economy. So influencers, I believe, because we've worked with them, and what they do is they'll get the word out there. Usually these are people who are relatable to what you're putting out, your product or your service. So even their followers probably are targeted to what you're selling. So when you get them, they can put the word out there, they actually get in traffic. So I believe influencer marketing is good, it's key.
Okay, so should we take event planning as a business now?
Yeah, sure, in Uganda it's picking up. It's picking up, yeah.
And it's something very profitable.
If you do it right.
Okay.
If you do it right. I think a lot of people are just falling in. We have an issue in Uganda that I've seen. People want to fall in what's working. It's a Ugandan trend,
what
really.
Is trending, what is trending, definitely going in for.
Exactly. So if you just fall into event planning, you're not going to get anything. because you don't understand the game. You just, where is the money at?
Okay.
But if you understand it, your clients, get to understand what the value you give, then it's beautiful.
What are the do's of this event planning business? Because I want us to look at the do's and the don'ts.
Yeah.
What are the things that you really need to do and you'll execute your duties quite well? And then what are those things that you should not tamper with once you're in this time of business?
I think one of the highest ranking do's is honesty.
Okay.
Integrity. You have to know that if I've told the client I will deliver this, please just deliver it.
Okay.
Because if you don't, you're affecting your name, you're affecting your brand, and then you keep losing. When you lose one client, you've lost 10.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the don'ts mainly is just falling in. I think that's like the umbrella of the don'ts.
Okay.
Just don't fall in. Do some research. Be sure this is what I want to do. This is how I'm going to do it. Do online courses. I've taken a lot of courses online. LinkedIn, Google, a lot. So do those courses and just polish your skill. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk now startup. The issue of starting up in Uganda was ranked as one of the world's most entrepreneurial countries because we have a lot of ideas when it comes to starting up businesses.
Yeah.
Though, however much we start up, sometimes they don't last for long.
Yeah.
In most cases, it doesn't even last for more than 2 years. Now, the issue of starting up a business, for example, you did say someone doesn't have to look at it as a bandwagon effect, and I'm like, let me go in for this. But how can someone start up a business in event planning?
I believe, one, you should have the passion.
Okay.
Because it's very tiring. It's a very tiring venture. You're up, if you have an event, you're up for like 4 days trying to make sure everything is okay. And that's during execution now. We've not talked about the planning.
I know.
So I believe that to start, you need, one, I've said passion. Then two, you need to be ready for whatever comes with it.
Okay.
3, you have to develop a tough skin because the clients we deal with a lot of times are not, they are raised differently, so everyone will treat you the way they want. So one has to really be bold and say, okay, this is what we do. And then I think the number 4 is one should have a stand. If you say we are going to do this, and this is what I know will look good, this is what will be, in time with what we are executing, then you shouldn't let everyone else's opinion wave you off.
I know.
Yeah.
So when you look at also the other issue to do with legalizing business, are there some legal documents that event planners are supposed to sign or are supposed to have, just like any other business that operates in Uganda?
Yes, I believe it's because it's a business, you should register officially.
Yeah.
With the registration bureau and then URA, KCC and everything. So it's a fully operating business, so it should be registered. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's look at the challenges. Let's talk challenges of this business. No business out there lacks challenges. I believe everyone has got challenges or these problems, either short term or long term. Let's look at them before we even look at how you overcome. What are those challenges you've faced in the last 6 years that you've been in this industry?
Of course, just like any other venture, there's so many challenges.
Yeah.
One of them that I faced a lot personally was I lacked skill in the beginning.
Okay.
So I was among the people who just started and learned on job.
Oh.
So one of the challenges was a lot of things I didn't know. I didn't know how to build teams. I didn't know how to be strong and say, if we are doing this, this is what we're doing. Then clients would, like when someone says, this is not what I told you, this is how I want this, I would feel like, oh my God.
You're done.
I want to shrink. So then the other challenge is most of the clients in this industry, not most, I think like half, they may not want to pay fully at the beginning.
I know. And
once an event is done, and this is one thing I tell event managers and whatever, you should either sign MOUs or have signed something somewhere to show in what
really
period, exactly, and in what period you're going to get your balance. Because once the event is done, it doesn't matter whether it's corporate, wedding, whatever, it's like the client just breathes in and they're like, you know what?
I'm done.
Exactly. So getting your balance
becomes a problem.
A huge one. So we've had a number of clients who haven't given us our balances to date.
Huh?
Yeah, but because I mean, when the event is done, they start crying. Oh, we've spent a lot. We don't have money.
We've been in loans and all
we've
that.
been in loans. So yeah. So I think that's another main challenge.
So how have you been able to overcome some of these challenges? Mainly, for example, clients who don't pay after a long time.
Yeah.
Then you've got issues with, for example, let's say, weather conditions on an event that is outdoor and all these things. How do you overcome?
I like to say I draw strength from within.
Okay.
So my inner person is way stronger than what's on the outside.
All right.
So things like our clients who haven't paid, we have let that go. Because if we are demanding you for 4 years, we can't be running over that. So moving forward, we learned that we should have signed documents to show that, okay, if you've not given us 100%, maybe on the date of the event you have to clear us to 0, or if you need any extra time, maybe it's going to be 2 weeks, you know. So with that we are protected, so we know that even if we don't get the money on that day, in 2 days we'll get our money. Then the other challenge that I mentioned was skill, skill, and I said I've done a number of courses to polish my skills. More is learning. We train the team so that we are all at par.
Okay.
Yes.
Now let's look at COVID. 2 years back, events were happening, by the way, corporate events were still ongoing, but how did it affect your business? Did you still get the clients in, or there were very few coming in?
Honestly, for those 2 years, we almost took a break.
We almost
took a break. Not closing.
You were just calling in for a break and you're like, let's wait and see where it goes.
Why? Because we had quite a lot of bookings that fell in that 2020. Okay. So all these events were just pending. Clients had deposited. There was no clear anything when they would open, you know, the country and whatever. So those 2 years we used them to reboot, to rest, re-strategize, and that's when actually we got to the wedding magazine. So during that, and I think it's very important for anyone to rest because sometimes we're moving so fast. So for us, those 2 years actually were a good place. We took a break because there was nothing happening outside, but we were working a lot on the inside.
Okay.
The internal, yeah.
Now let's look at something to do with event. How do you differentiate these events? The events I'm saying in hotels and you know, they call you to MC an event in a hotel, and then you look at someone calling you to tell you, you know what, there's an event outdoor, these all these events. Which one is harder to do as an event planner?
Outdoor events.
Why?
Because there's a lot that goes in, even if it's a wedding, or maybe we did a Volvo event when Volvo was launching in Uganda in 2019. But what happens is there's so much. You have to do the tent. First of all, you have to get the venue, then do the tent, then work on the draping and whatever is going to go up, and then do all the groundwork. You have to bring in the furniture. If it's luxurious furniture, if it's heavy, you have to bring it in. Like everything, it's like you're just creating from space, as opposed to an indoor function where there are already walls, there's already a ceiling, so literally you just have to work with what's there, decor and whatever. So outdoor is always more work, but more beautiful. I'll do an outdoor event anytime.
Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of outdoor, if you had to look at how is our market, for example, in terms of events, how is our marketplace? How is our market space?
Honestly, I think our market is more inclusive, if I can say. It's welcoming. Okay. And I feel like after COVID, it's even more welcoming because you put up an event and it will sell out. Okay. So people have embraced events, and Ugandans are happy people. We are happy people. We like to have a good time. So as long as people understand the concept and they fit into it, they'll turn up.
Yes. Yeah. Turning up in Uganda is actually something you don't need to over request for people. Someone may look sad today, you organize an event tomorrow,
and they're there.
You check status, you check your timelines, and people are already happening, and you're getting worried in here one way or the other. People are not worried all of a sudden. Anyway, speaking of events in Uganda, I would want to know something. How do you deal with service providers? You as an event organizer or an event planner, I do understand you also have some service providers who help you here and there. But in most of the areas, I've got to realize that the two normally counter conflict, and certain things do not work out. Yeah. Where is the challenge? mainly?
I can speak for us and what we have experienced.
Okay.
What happens is sometimes the service providers we've outsourced, either they're overbooked or they're just not faithful. They don't stand by their word.
Okay.
So probably I've booked things from you, and then someone else has booked them, and maybe that person had said I'll return them Monday morning, and I need my things on maybe Monday afternoon.
I know.
And you give them out. So the other person delays, which always happens. And maybe they are coming the evening, so you're delaying me, I'm delaying my client. So I feel like one is they're just not probably trained enough. Like I said, most of the people just fall in it. So I feel like that's one point of contention. That actually exaggerates the whole issue.
How are you dealing with competition? I've seen quite a number of event planners in the country now.
Yeah.
But how do you people deal with this competition?
We have discovered our niche and what we stand for, and the kind of events that we focus on. So with that, we have managed to dominate in our sector. So events is very broad, very, very broad. But we have identified that we focus on, this type of event, and that's what we channel our energies to, and we make sure that we win there and we dominate. And when we get these others, we do them happily. But we know we are already shining somewhere.
You already strategized.
Yes.
Let's talk marketing.
Yeah.
In marketing, how do you market your brand as Uvra, for example? How do you market an event? What are those key elements you look at and you're like, well, if we have something coming up, this is how we are going to reach our target audience. This is how we are going to execute our duties. Let's talk about that marketing bit.
Yeah. So first of all, we identify the type of client we have.
Okay.
Let's say we have Smart 24 TV in this matter, and we know that this is a business channel. So we know if maybe you're launching a product or you're celebrating a certain number of years, we know that who would want to tune into business, who would want to listen to business talk, and we identify maybe the age group, maybe people this age who are just from campus and probably they want to see where to tap into, and then we can look for which personalities we can use, and we look at which avenues we can use. If we need to use maybe some TV ads, if we need to use maybe some influencer marketing, digital marketing, ads on maybe LinkedIn or whatever. So we identify, step one is to identify the client and their product, and then we relate them to what would match them in the market, their crowd.
Okay, but if someone wanted to open up a business, for example, even planning, how much money, if you're to give us some initial figures, how much money would someone need?
For event planning?
For event planning, like you want to start up your first gig, you're like, you know what, today I want to organize an event, I want to see how it works for me.
Honestly, I think you can even start without capital. Because one, you don't need physical assets to do wedding planning. You just need your brain, connections, service providers, and trust from the first client. Like I remember our very first client, I treasure them because they believed in us when we were starting. We were really young, but they trusted us. So I believe that if one has the knowledge, you just need one person to trust you. And you're good to go. Then maybe after that, you can think of location, but that is secondary.
Anyway, someone did say pressure is getting worse it is. And when you look at pressure every other side, so you need to be a very, very strategic person. Bango fumbo one way or the other, you need to be very good at whatever you're doing. I can only imagine when you're a young man my age and someone comes in and tells you, you know what, I have a wedding next week, and you're like, now what am I going to do? So you need to be very, very good at what you're doing. So with the issue of the youth who are facing a lot of unemployment in Uganda. Now, you as Uvra Events, are you entirely employing young people, or you only have you have quite a number of experienced, matured people?
We have mostly young people because we are young, so we find it easier naturally to just gravitate to young people. So most of our people are young.
Okay. Yes. Now, first of all, take us through the upcoming Wedding Expo and what should the people expect?
First of all, I'm very excited. I want to scream, but I can't.
Okay.
But I'm very excited, together with the team, to bring the Bridal Expo UG Season 2. Okay. It's going to be happening at the Uganda Museum. We have a number of vendors in all the sectors, all the essential sectors that contribute to a wedding. We have a number of activities. We'll have amazing photo booths. We'll have a catwalk runway, so people will be showcasing what's trending. We'll have music, we'll have barbecue. It's going to be nice. It's happening, of course, on 10th and 11th September. And we welcome all the people, the brides to be, grooms to be, those who get married 5 years from now. You never know, you could even meet your spouse there. So yeah, so we welcome everyone. It's going to really be amazing. We start at 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Oh,
yeah.
Saturday 11th to Sunday 10th.
Saturday 10th.
Saturday 10th to Sunday 11th.
Yeah.
Yes. Saturday 10th to Sunday 11th at the Uganda Museum will be the Bridal Expo, second edition?
Yes, second edition.
Yes, and Uvra Events does bring it up for you. We shall be giving you all those updates, by the way, as they will be coming in. So, like she mentioned, if you're a bride to be, a groom to be, or you're someone who wants to be one in the next 5-10 years, you can definitely go in there. And if at all you want to be an event planner, you can definitely go in and see, meet certain people, get the numbers, connect with most of the people. There are lots of chances you can get once you interact with everyone. People can be friends, as you are definitely getting contacts that will take you somewhere. Very important for you to understand it. And like I mentioned, since the next few months are going to be filled up with lots of events, I guess, and weddings and all that, you can definitely go there. You may find someone who can do for you a wonderful wedding gown, or maybe someone who will do you something good for your entourage in one way or the other. Now, lastly, Revival, a business tip that you can give to a young person out there who is trying to start up something.
Yeah. I'll tell them not to give up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that has pushed us and myself. Just never give up. Believe so heavily in your dreams, because you will make it. You will actually make it. And the other thing that I can say is learn from experiences, because most people will never talk about their bad experiences, but we've gone through them, and I know that when you use those experiences right, they propel you forward.
Okay.
Yes.
And then your final remarks as we're winding up with our discussion?
Yeah, I'm very grateful for this, and I'm very grateful that the young people out there are getting such kind of information closer to them. As I conclude, I can say that people can follow us on our social media, Cosmopolitan Weddings, the Bridal Expo UG, to find more information about the event, and the magazine.
Okay. Revival Kemigisha, who is the ED Uvra Events Limited, and they will be bringing to you the Bridal Expo 2022 Uganda Museum. That is Saturday 10th to Sunday 11th September this very year. So it's just a 1 week's time that we'll be getting in that particular one. And that brings us to the end of our topic of discussion. After the break, I'm getting ready with Barija Andrew on ground to give us more in regards to business matters. This is your daily Kickstarter. Stick around. Good morning.
We are done.